Welcome back to the channel. This is Football Temple brought to you by Azar Studios. Today we'll be looking at Arsenal. Yes, the Gunners are our focus. Mikel Arteta is in the market. And finally, Nonso Arinze can't smile. Martin Zubimendi, of course, is officially a Gunner after the Gunners paid £51 million for the player from Real Sociedad, making it the third player Arsenal have signed from Real Sociedad in recent years under Mikel Arteta, if I'm not mistaken. Odegaard, Merino, and of course, Zubimendi. We also understand the Gunners are very close, very, very close to signing one man that broke up with his girlfriend just so that he will not have a Thomas Partey situation in his life. Victor Gyokeres, of course, is also close. He's agreed personal terms, according to sources, with Arsenal, and it's only for Arsenal to now agree a deal with his club, Sporting Lisbon. In the same vein, the Gunners are also close to, of course, finalizing agreement for Chelsea winger Noni Madueke. Do they really know the Madueke? It's $1 million question. But before we, of course, touch down on all of those matters, let's talk about one man. He's no longer an Arsenal player, but the last club he played for, and the club he played for while all of this happened, was Arsenal, where, of course, Thomas Partey is in the spotlight. He's a Ghanaian. Unfortunately, I don't want to say our Ghanaian brother. I don't want to associate us with... Well, of course, he's not been found guilty, of course, but we know how these things has played out with footballers in the last few years. Mendy, of course, wrecked his football career from a bumper career with Manchester City to struggling to get clubs. Did not play football for almost 2 years and all of that. Unkani Sam, the Bishop, Thomas Partey, rape allegation, 5-count charge.
5-count charge. 3 different women.
Crazy.
Crazy. Who, again, like I said, do they
learn?
That's the first question. You took that out of my mouth. Do they really learn? I want to pick the word of a certain Jose Mourinho who said that footballers are not role models. You watch them instead of play, enjoy the football, enjoy what you see.
Live whatever they do.
But their life is not, they are not role models. So don't pick anybody on high esteem. And they are proving us right. You just read out some names. Adam Johnson, Benjamin Mendy. So many players who have gone through this. Bissouma, Neymar Jr., Dani Alves, Greenwood. Players who have gone through this chapter and they do not learn. You know, when we were talking about this a few years ago, I think back, and you asked a question and you said, which lady in this world can Benjamin Mendy not afford?
That was the question I asked them.
No.
Like,
who can he not afford? If it's about money,
if it's about
the money, he cannot afford.
Exactly. Why do you now go into things that will
why things like this?
See, the stories are just they are bound, right? And I keep asking myself certain questions. It's just like what you said. Which lady can what they call him? Benjamin
Thomas Partey.
My man just took me back practically to a different spot completely. There's this guy, a Nigerian guy. I don't know. Is it Okebiabuchi or what name? He's a boxer. He was coming up so fast. I'm trying to remember his name. I think I'll try and get his name before the end of this thing. And same thing happened after a particular fight. I mean, before you know, the girl came and, so the question, you can afford these things, right?
Exactly.
The thing is, why don't you learn how to play safe? Now, my simple issue is, why do we keep repeating the same mistake?
The same thing.
Not too long ago, let me just give you this, don't yet to be substantiated. We come on a host on a different show, talking about Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
18, he made the lady at the age of 18. Now, you should know where you belong. Now, you should know where you know where you are in life, and you know who to associate with in life. That is
a 50-year-old man with an 18-year-old.
Whether she's 18, whether she's not this, just know where you belong.
Know where you belong.
Somebody who does not belong to his category can actually do that, and whatsoever
and escape
can never be a problem. And guess what? It happened when he was on the verge of signing a new contract of almost 100 million. For 5 years. That was the allegation. That was the claim.
Now, deal thrown away.
2 years ago, Miles Bridges, Charlotte Hornets, few days for his mass contract, 40 something. The same accusation came in, sexual assault, and for a year plus nothing. And that was why he missed that bumper contract. So coming back to Partey, right now, at some point in Africa, there was this silent period when none of those nonsense was associated with any of our
Yeah.
position.
None.
The Drogba era for me was
the
the
best
golden
era.
era.
Yes.
And they were big. You have
Big.
Drogba,
Mikel
you have Yaya
Arteta,
Toure,
Essien,
you have
Toure, Michael Essien,
And this-
JJ Okocha, Kanu Wanko, nothing.
Big names.
the Asamoah Gyan of this world.
Asamoah Gyan,
Nothing.
the dancer.
Ebuwe of this world. Some even though
Yes,
Ebuwe
yes.
case is different.
Yeah,
it's not
Ebuwe's
It's
red,
not his
you
marriage.
understand?
It's not his
Yeah,
case. It's not as if
this
somebody
is
messed him up.
nothing.
And we never had these things. But before then, we actually had issues like this before now. I mean, the era before this guy's era, before the Drogba era.
But we wouldn't talk about the black guys.
We had issues like that. You understand? But the question is this.
Discipline.
Recently, okay, you've seen it happen to Benjamin Mendy.
At
You've
least
seen it happen to
learn from
Greenwood.
Mendy.
Is that not enough reason for you to say, you know what, like, whether it's true or not, right? Don't put yourself in a situation
Because
where you'll be
situation-
accused.
5-count charge of rape.
Two of
One
us.
count charge
of
sexual
Sexual assault.
Assault.
So
It's even lucky that they didn't add battery, because some of them, they added battery on
It's
top.
difficult to say that, though it could be possible, which of course, if
It's yet to be proven,
human
though.
being.
it's yet to be proven.
Yes.
But come on,
Don't even
Now,
get
put
to that
yourself in
situation. Don't even
scenarios.
get there.
In scenarios that are
In the
difficult
last
to
3-4
defend
years,
you.
in the last 3-4 years, you have a Greenwood who suddenly, sorry to make it look like a color thing, who somehow is a black guy. Yeah. You have a Mendy who is a black guy. You have a Bissouma that
Who's
was
black
not
guy?
to his
Black
game.
guy.
Now you have a Partey. And this Partey issue has been lingering. About 2 seasons ago,
Before it
I
was
was
about
even
the
afraid for him.
before it was about the white guys, we had Bridge
forget
and,
about-
and John Terry
and John Terry.
having
Their case was even better.
Icardi and
Their
them.
case
and
was-
Joe-
was
I
better.
understand. So the
Listen to me,
whites.
listen
When
to
did
me,
the black
listen
get
to
into
me.
this?
Listen to me. Their case was even better. It was never rape. It was never assault.
was just-
It was probably
Collect my wife.
Snatching,
this
snatching,
thing.
Snatching,
snatching.
snatching.
Only
That's what
person that
we
has
do.
probably the case of rape, which equally wrecked his career, is Adam
Adam
Johnson.
Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, recently, I'm not talking about all this. I'm talking about recently. But the simple question is this, right? They say you live in a glass house, you don't throw
You don't throw
stones.
stones.
There are certain things that are not just doable for you. That I can do and go scot-free. That you can do and go scot-free.
Rule number
But
one,
he cannot
you don't need
go-
to have any call girl. It's a simple logic.
Come on. I think for
And
for-
you know, see, this
You know where you're coming
history
from.
is there. History is there. You've seen how people have actually nothing ruined the life of a professional footballer
Than
like
controversies.
these things. You now become somebody that nobody wants to touch, and it's unfortunate for him that it happened
It's not even,
when he's no longer controversial committed to anything.
even go beyond football, because even
That's
brands
the crazy
even
part.
brands don't want to shit with you,
Because-
because those who sell a lot of brand
because
deals,
let's
they
not
don't
have-
want to
let's
come
be
with
honest.
you.
As some people are coming out on Arsenal.
Yes.
That why did Arsenal keep
Arsenal
playing
keep on
him,
playing.
Why they
knowing
do-
he has such case when they've not even say he has
Yes,
he has been charged officially. People are having issue with the fact that Arsenal know
kept
that
on
he was
playing.
under investigation and they were playing him.
just to also put it together, 2 and 2 together. Probably one of the reasons why Arsenal refused to, of course.
I think so.
I think
That's the
believe me
major-
when I
Let's
saw
Now,
that story.
because it is possible.
It is.
Now, one of the reasons why the Gunners refused to renew the
That is-
contract
yes.
of Thomas Partey.
That's-
But
that is-
You know the anger of people.
Because-
They say Arsenal were even in negotiating
Negotiation
a new
with
contract
him,
with him
with
first.
him.
That's the pain. That was some people.
That was the pain, yes, of
This
many
thing. And Arteta said something that with what he has actually passed through, that no, he's a strong. I mean, he's a very strong person. The question is this, right? Like it. See, I was bitter when I saw the story. I felt so bad. I knew, and there was this story that kept coming out. A Premier League player is under investigation.
Yes,
It's
he came
been-
out twice.
But
in the news,
but
they didn't know they didn't disclose the
Disclose
name.
the
Yes,
then all of a sudden it's Partey.
Okay, sir.
And
Is there-
2
is there-
seasons ago, Partey and Bissouma, the same girl, the same lady,
same
I think,
issue. Yes,
accused
Okay,
them
yeah.
of what is this?
Is there a way forward?
Well, I just want to come up. The good thing is almost all these people that were accused.
They've
They're
all
fair.
come out.
But that was the dent. That's
The-
the issue.
that
Right now.
is-
It's just the dent that we're talking
look at
about. There.
Greenwood. He can barely play for. This is a guy who should barely walk into the Three Lions right now.
But he's
Can barely
not.
he can't go there. He's reckoning goals in numbers for
Marseille.
Marseille. The Marseille fans are divided into two, whether he should stay or should go. That's why he's
Some
giving them
fans
numbers.
still don't want him.
They say there's many female groups that say no, he cannot be assured with Olympic Marseille. That's why the number of goals is reckoning. This guy, if it was due to basically form,
I'll
if it
probably
was due
do
to
the
form,
Google to know
he
where
would
Mendy
be.
is right now.
If it's form, he would be in the national team right now with the Three Lions.
At the Mendy sound last season with one of
With the
the
team in the
French
French
club.
League on.
Yeah.
French club.
And then he just spiraled
It's
down.
not the same because
He cannot be the same
This guy didn't play
psychologically,
football for
mentally.
almost 2 years.
And Thomas Partey is a rare gym. A lot of people were saying, I listened to Gallas a few days ago, and he said it was a sin. Maybe this case was not out. Arsenal was giving him a new contract. Maybe right now, seeing this now, you'll be like, oh,
I understand where this whole thing is
understand where
coming
it's
from.
coming from.
Because I mean, even you sincerely, I was like, why would Arsenal not extend Partey's contract? I understand
I
the
was
issue
one
of
of those
age.
like that.
beyond
thinking
football
about that.
reasons. Beyond
It's
football
like
reasons.
just one day your whole world just collapsed before you.
Well-
Probably because you're a bit reckless for whatsoever reason.
Whatever. Again, the rule is do not get yourself in uncompromising position, in a position like that to be able to be charged for
See-
anything. Don't get there.
I know. Well, I wouldn't want to talk much.
You can afford anybody. See, come on. You think all the footballers in the world are sent? They are not sent.
like
but
the-
they are
no,
smart.
Mourinho have captured it all. these guys are no role model.
That's
They
the
just have
key
talent and they're playing football.
Please, what football?
Beyond the football,
Please, don't say me there.
well,
Nothing.
but for Thomas Partey, we do hope that they find a way out of it at 32. With his contract
Without a
for
club right
Arsenal,
now.
without a club right now. One thing I know that I can beat my chest to 100% is that no Premier League club will come for Thomas Partey with such
Allegation.
an issue and allegation, because
Until
of
it's
course,
clear. Even if it is clear.
the Premier League,
He will take
in
a
the-
miracle
in the
with
Premier-
epic proportion.
See, even with a miracle, it will not happen in Premier League. Probably he now begins to look out
Saudi
outside of
Asian
Europe
League.
entirely, the Saudi Arabian League or the Asian League. And now he's also at disadvantage because they will also negotiate little with him because he wants to play.
And even his legendary status at Arsenal may be dented because they've been want to call him back for other
yeah,
obligations.
which
He's a former Arsenal player who played.
Yeah,
I just
because
hope.
you know,
I-
was this Sigurdsson?
Sigurdsson. Yes.
Now, if you go to Everton regard him ex-player. They don't even mention his name.
Yes.
They
Because
say
they should.
one of our ex-player was involved with so, and then the ex-player.
Did you see the
And
did you see the headline? Former Arsenal player. That was the headline when it came out.
crazy. You know, it's crazy. But we wish him all the best. But let's come back to football matters involving Mikel Arsenal. Congratulations, Nonso.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Zubimendi is now
Officially.
Zubimendi or Zubimendi?
Mendy.
Okay, Zubimendi, not Zubimendi.
Absolutely.
Of course, he's now an Arsenal player.
Yeah.
51 million. It looks like the midfield is what Arteta dreamed.
What happened to Notgard?
It's coming. It's still there. It's not waiting for official. Don't forget this Mendy will have been announced the day Diogo Jota died. Diogo Jota, but that's now had to push it 2 days further.
Sign of honor.
Exactly. So Nogard is coming. We don't know Nogard is coming next.
He went at just number 36.
36, yes, that's what we're waiting for. Zubimendi. Nogard will come next. 10 million pounds, 5 million add-ons, and then the battle will now become on the two you're talking about. But let's stick with Mendy first of all. I think it's a good addition. At least it just saves us the stress of the fact that Thomas Partey was leaving. I was crying myself out when it was reported that the club was trying all they can, like I did say on this show, to get him to sign a new contract, try to allow him, at least beg him to stay 1 more year. And we know that Partey was leaving. We didn't know there was going to be this kind of issue. But imagine he agreed to sign a year and Partey was leaving.
Well,
Who would have been the replacement?
so it shows you guys actually put yourself in a situation. Well, I could you guys coming so hard on Arsenal.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, exactly.
And who they? Okay, is it Shekari or
Yeah.
Babatunde? But now come on, they're doing the business.
Yeah.
They're like a house on fire.
I know,
They're like a house on fire.
Probably Mikel Arteta stumbled on the video.
No,
like, what did they
no,
do,
not
guys,
really,
now?
not really.
Make
I mean,
una calm down.
they have a new director.
Yeah, they have a new.
Yeah,
And I think
Barata.
Barata, I was praising him. You know, he's doing so well for himself. Kepa is about I got 5
Got it.
million. You know, Zubimendi is
51 million.
in, and
Christian
Nogard
Nogard
is
is coming
coming in
in
soon. I think he did some also.
Gyokeres is almost there.
Yeah,
By
yeah,
reports.
Gyökeres.
And the funny part is that Gyokeres wants this deal to be done.
Yeah.
You know,
He's even broken up with his
he took-
girlfriend.
First
Come
of all,
on.
he broke up because of this deal.
Because he doesn't want
Relate-
anything associated with sporting.
And then even
While he moves to
he's
England.
going to take a 2 million euros pay cut
Yeah, pay cuts. I saw that.
to ensure that this deal happen. He wants to practically force this deal to happen. He has agreed personal
That's-
terms a little bit better than what he gets from Sporting, but people expect, according to what I did to reporters, he should be getting more. But because he wants the deal, he's trying to take a little lower than what he would have gotten on a normal. And then he wants the club to agree. We hear the club are standing in for 70 million pounds. Arsenal play 70 million pounds for Gyokeres. He's 27 years of age.
It's not better to pay 70 million for Gyokeres than to pay 90 million for Benjamin Sesko.
I agree with you. You know, yes.
Isn't it better to pay 70 million for Gyokeres than to pay 65 million for what was his name? Kai Havertz.
Come on, guy, it's old story.
If you paid Kai Havertz such amount of money, you know,
Yeah.
at times we used to forget about things.
It's
We used to forget about
I
certain
remember
things.
those things. I want to cry.
You became speechless, right?
I just
You
lost
became
it.
speechless, right? You're just.
Absolutely. I don't know how did
Don't worry.
he? What did he tell Arteta? What did he tell the board?
Don't
And the
worry.
next big thing.
I think-
What did he
I
say?
think anytime
What did
Arsenal
Kyrie
sign for
say?
anytime Arsenal sign a player for Chelsea, that gets a cut. That's the only logical thinking I can talk about. But about Zubimendi, what does it bring to this Arsenal team?
Well, probably because sincerely,
You're not convinced.
He's one guy that I've not followed. No, I've
Yeah.
not followed him, so I cannot say much about him. But probably he let him be a pound for pound replacement for
But
Partey.
Partey, exactly, yeah.
Partey gives you everything. Partey was an all-rounder. He plays from the defense.
Scott
Scott playing from the defense.
yes.
You understand?
Scott
Does
play at the right
practically-
back.
You understand?
Centre back, defensive midfielder.
I just hope he has the ability. If he has the ability, fine and good. If not, come on. Still same
same
old story.
old.
Because you let go a better player for a player that
for a
is not
lesser
good as
quality,
you understand. Which
Guys, let's have this conversation. What does Arsenal need Noni Madueke for? Because
they don't. They
I-
don't
I-
need
I
him
am-
for anything.
To be honest,
I doubt. I
now-
still feel it's a media. Is a frenzy.
Yes, I quite
I
agree
still
with you.
feel it's a media frenzy. I still feel it's
because
a media
how do you
frenzy.
go to Chelsea every year
And get some.
and you sign players who are surplus
Below.
to requirements?
below standard.
I still feel
for big amount of
people
money.
will tell you Mo Salah was surplus to requirement. look at how he ended up. People tell you Kevin De Bruyne was surplus
Yeah,
requirement, so they know you understand.
well. No, but these guys were different. They wanted to play football.
They were calling surplus for requirement because you guys were having Chelsea were having better
Madueke want to play
players.
football.
So maybe Arsenal is believing that.
The first time we signed on Madueke is a backup. And why would you pay 50 million pounds for a backup?
That's why I believe for now. I believe still media.
He can't be better than.
I still believe the media friends because you can't be signing him at the same time
as a backup.
Eberechi.
He's like, oh,
you can't go for the two of them at the same time.
Rodrigo is far-fetched. You think you can sign Rodrigo?
It's possible. He looks like someone who wants to make a.
How do you convince Rodrigo?
Come on, man.
No, not Rodrigo. I'm talking about
No. He's saying they want to sign Rodrigo. Can you convince Rodrigo?
Rodrigo is struggling for game time.
I feel practically with the Rodrigo issue is media noise to try to associate.
I think PSG are now coming into the deal.
Yeah, into the deal.
So there's no need for Madueke in Arsenal.
I feel Arsenal don't need Madueke.
Surplus requirement at Chelsea. I don't think
it's not really entirely surplus. It just feels like there's been a back and forth between him and Enzo Maresca in the last 12 months. You know, Maresca wants more from him, and Maresca has not hide the fact that Madueke can give more. But he feels he's not giving more to the team. But when you bring in Gittins, if you brought in Gittins and João Pedro, players now and then on Madueke. No, and then there's also
I want Gittins playing.
Well, yes. To be honest,
I'm not convinced.
Yes, João Pedro, it is.
No, Gittins ahead of Madueke. I think if you look at both of them in reality, Madueke stepped up when he needed to step up last season in the Premier League. Gittins is coming into the league newly.
See, the thing is this, right? In the Premier League, right, there's no time to waste. By the time they give you 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches and you fail to prove yourself, it will take more than the grace
to get you back to
come back. And I think that is Madueke a case. He had opportunity times without number. He's never that guy that you can rely on. He's never that guy you can rely on. Or you're looking for a goal, when just like you asked, you rely probably on Saka. If they're looking for a goal, you can't rely on Madueke. And he was given surplus time, not just time, surplus time to prove himself, and he failed to prove himself. So if just want to do it with him, they are justified. But do Arsenal need him? No, 100%.
No. I think it's only gonna be a backup. Maybe a left back.
A backup to who?
To Saka. You're gonna play.
What are you talking about?
Carabao Cup. You're gonna will play alongside Saka. He will play Carabao Cups. A little bit of the early rounds of the.
At what amount? Which amount are you
at 50
gonna
million?
pay? So you're paying 50 million.
How can you buy a backup for 50 million? It's not needed. That's my problem.
And guess what? The funny thing is, the players have actually let go. Arsenal didn't make anything from them already.
Nothing. They let
go Partey for free.
Jorginho.
They let go Jorginho for free. They let go Tomiyasu for free.
As they also released one more player, I think.
I think the chief. I don't.
Also for free.
Okay, Fiorentina is gone for free.
Yeah.
And probably more. Maybe Zinchenko. Maybe
Zinchenko will do. Zinchenko may not go because of he's got 2 years of contract, but I think some other players will still leave for maybe not for free, but for paltry sums.
Paltry sum, yeah.
Well, we wait to see. But Mikel Arteta is active in transfer market. You must note that. Zubimendi.
Well, that's the beauty of having a director, a sporting director.
Exactly.
When Edu was there, and that part of that when we were addressing the Arsenal case last season, there was one area that we felt talk about, which is the area of the management itself. Yeah. How will we, in the midst of a title challenge, let go? I mean, somebody who has been so influential in that team.
But he didn't sign a striker, did he?
No, but come on, why do you?
They
let him go before January, so they couldn't sign in January because he was not there. If he was around, maybe January, things would have been different in January. And probably Arsenal would have mounted a better challenge.
Okay.
Well, just also speak some transfer news. Of course, Ola Aina has signed a new 3-year contract extension with Nottingham Forest. Of course, we wanted him to go to Manchester City, but I think it's a good offer for him. He's shown progress and consistency in the last 2 years. But guys, one conversation, one last one I want to hear from you. John Duran, Fenerbahce, shocking,
absolutely shocking. How do you leave that?
That's exiting. Aston Villa was an
I think the money was spinning around his brain.
And the other part, right? If John Duran is ready to go to Fenerbahce, right?
It's gone already, don't you?
Fine. Yeah. He's gone already, right? What instead of going for a Noni, you have a John Durant.
Yeah.
Why did you go for him?
Yes.
Who we know is a better player than Noni.
His numbers was not bad in Saudi Arabia.
He's a better player than Noni.
I feel the reason why he's even let go by announced is because of the foreign players ratio.
No, I mean that was the reason why they couldn't sign it up.
Yeah, so I think that's why they want to get
someone. But probably no. Probably just don't find the place interesting for him.
But the guy was playing well, scoring goals.
But you need to be home. You need to be okay.
Where?
Fenerbahce is home.
There's life beyond.
There's home.
Europe
is home. No, so Europe is home.
Europe is home.
You can move anyhow.
Yeah, Africa is home. I won't play in Madagascar.
Well, of course, the transfer market will continue to monitor all of the dealings. We understand Victor Osimhen sad might just be staying with Galatasaray as the offers are not just coming.
Yeah,
Sad. If he stays in Galatasaray, honestly, I don't know what to say. But it brings me to this question: do Nigeria really have world-class players? Because come on, let's be honest with ourselves. Ademola Lookman is also not having conversation about whether no conversation about Ademola Lookman, Victor Boniface. No conversation.
I saw a conversation about this guy. What was his name?
Tolu.
Not Tolu. There's some. I mean, the Fulham guy.
Yeah, Alex
Thomas
Wood, saying that
linking
Atletico Madrid, but no concrete offer. Concrete offers, and all of that. But if Victor was serious,
well, that about how many African players are actually in the conversation? How many African players?
How many of them? No.
Well,
how many African players?
No.
Generally.
Only one that was should have been in the conversation just signed a new deal for Liverpool, Mohamed Salah.
Probably the only one that should have been in the conversation is one that's having an issue right now. No,
Partey. Yeah.
That would have been the only person in the conversation right now.
Well,
so practically Africans are not even in the conversation this off-season.
Maybe Kudus. So
except of course Mohamed Kudus in the conversation.
You just need Kudus. Answer that question for that.
Well, the transfer market is now getting hot and tougher. Of course, clubs are now signing, but fortunately, the man in Manchester United and teams are resuming preseason. Of course, Manchester United are expected to be back with Ruben Amorim. They've excused the likes of Rashford, Sancho, Garnacho
Anthony.
to take their time and find clubs before coming back to preseason. We'll continue to monitor all of those transfer news and rest assured we'll dish it out to you when they come. But for Thomas Partey, well, we do hope that he finds a way around this and gets back his football career, because at 32, it could be very difficult to get yourself back. For Arsenal, it's incoming Zubimendi and Kepa Arrizabalaga, and of course, Victor Gyokeres are looking likely that he must also join with Christian Nørgaard. For Arsenal, it will be 4 transfers, and that should be good enough to just start the season. With Gyokeres leading the line, maybe next season is possible. Football Temple brought to you by Azar Studios.